Y'all gotta wake the fuck up. No matter who's in that position, especially in the government, black, white, green, blue, it don't matter. No one don't like you. The deep state hate all of us. Hey, what's good, you guys? Your boy Dipset there to the MO, back at it like a crack addict with these mathematics soft fabrics. So I do pause steady, and we here with another reaction, man. And this one was suggested to me probably like a month ago now. And it's called A Short History of Slavery by PragerU. I think Candace Owens is the one giving out the information on this video in specific, and it's gonna be educational. You heard? Like, I know some brief history of slavery that has nothing to do with American slavery, because for some reason, we believe that, oh, American history of slavery is the only slavery that happened. It's not. Like, it's definitely not. Sorry, I'm reaching over to scratch my ankle. Awkward. Anyway, if you fuck with the content, please like, comment, subscribe. If you want to review or react to one of your videos, put it in the comments. Don't put it on my TikTok, because y'all don't go there anyway.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog.
Anyway, let's get into this shit. PragerU.
And now for a brief...
Alright, let's be men for a second. Candace Owens is very, very, very beautiful woman, son. And her intelligence takes her over the top. I know this is supposed to be about slavery, but nope, not canceling me. Not canceling me. But look at, I've seen Candace without makeup and all that too. She's still fine. So don't be try to, oh, she only got it because she got makeup on. No, nigga, she's fine without makeup. I seen them pictures too.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
Yes, sir, brother.
Anyway, sorry. Stop being a man for a second, Damo. What? That means I'm a part of the community?
No homo.
Never, nigga. I'm fucking talking about weirdo shit.
History of slavery. Here's the first thing you need to know. Slavery was not invented by white people.
Of course
It did not start in 1619 when the first slaves came to Jamestown. It existed before then. It did not start in 1492 when Columbus discovered the New World. In fact, when the intrepid explorer landed in the Bahamas, the native Taino tribe hoped that he would help them defeat their aggressive neighbors, the Caribs. The Caribs enslaved the Taino and, on occasion, served them for dinner.
Hold on. We gotta fact check that. Cause that's crazy. I ain't even know none of that. Let's go.
Slavery existed in Africa, Asia, and the Middle East.
Facts.
The word slave actually comes from the Slavs of Eastern Europe.
Yep.
Millions of them, all white by the way, were captured and enslaved by Muslims in the 9th century and later by the Ottoman Turks.
Yep, I heard about that.
Slavery existed when the Roman Empire controlled the Mediterranean and most of Europe from the 1st through the 5th centuries.
Facts.
Slavery existed when Alexander the Great conquered Persia in the 4th century BC. It was so common that Aristotle simply considered it natural. The slave master...
In the first, if you look, remember, we come to realize that Egypt was one of the first civilizations that ever happened. Like, in Egypt was one of the first civilizations, what they call Kemet, right? Back then. They had slaves back then, too. Who built the fucking pyramids? Allegedly. Like, you feel me? They said it was slave work. I don't agree that it was slave work that built the pyramids, because those structures and the mass of those stones that they put up for the pyramids to go up like that, it was too fucking heavy for just slaves to do it. But they did have slavery during that time, is my point. Let's go. Talk that shit, Candace. Fine ass. God damn. Sorry.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
Yes, sir, brother. Aristotle simply considered it natural. The slave master model was just how the world operated in the great philosopher's day. Slavery existed during the time of the ancient Egyptians.
See, I just said that.
5,000 years ago.
Just said that.
As far back as we can go in human history, we find slavery. As renowned historian John Steele Gordon notes from time immemorial, slaves were a major item of commerce.
Facts.
As much as a third of the population of the ancient world was enslaved.
I put that in one of my videos too. That and I you know it's funny. I learned that from the rapper Vince Staples. He was on a Joe Budden podcast, and they was asking him about slavery, and he was like, nah, back then it was just, slavery is about commerce. Da 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 da. And I was like, oh shit. Like for me, then I started really looking into the slavery history. I'm like, oh, he right. It was more about money and just getting shit built faster, just using slave labor because back then they didn't have the tech. I can't say they didn't have the technology. I won't say that. Feel me? Because from certain shit I've been watching about how they built, like even to build the pyramids, you had to have some type of technology to get that shit up there. It wasn't only manual labor. You feel me? It had to be something else that they used, but it just got buried, or the people from the Vatican and these other people who be just taking out of Egypt and taking all these artifacts and shit, took it away, stored it away, and not letting us as people see it. Because if we see it, we gonna start reinventing it. You see how they killed that man who did the water engine, right? Yeah. Yeah, like you feel me? He like, oh yeah, we don't have to use gas. We don't have to use oil to start up our car. We can use hydrogen. Bang, let it go. Rest in peace to that man. I'll put it up here.
Stanley Allen Meyer was the inventor of the water fuel cell automobile, a buggy powered by water. His patented buggy claimed to split water into hydrogen and oxygen, where the hydrogen gas was burned to generate energy and the oxygen discharged through the exhaust with harmless emissions. Stanley stated that oil industry representatives had repeatedly threatened him and even offered millions of dollars to destroy all traces of his work. Stanley died unexpectedly in 1998 while out dining with his brother and two Belgian investors. He abruptly dashed outside after a drink of his cranberry juice, shrieking to his brother,
"They poisoned me."
His death was declared of natural causes via a brain aneurysm. The toxicology report found no indication of poison. Suspiciously, the buggy and all of Stanley's equipment were stolen from his garage. The patent is rumored to be concealed away securely from inquisitive eyes.
Much as a third of the population of the ancient world was enslaved. Here's the second thing you need to know. White people were the first to formally put an end to slavery. In 1833, Britain was the first country in the history of the world to pass a Slavery Abolition Act.
Okay.
They were quickly followed by France, who in 1848 abolished slavery in her many colonies.
Okay.
Then, of course, came the 13th Amendment in the United States Constitution.
1865.
After centuries.
See, what the fucked up part about it is, even though they ended slavery, they still had added more bullshit to stop the people of the Native American descent and African American descent from even prospering in the country. So you ended slavery, cool. That's fire. That's dope. I'm not saying that's bad, right? But after that, like, you feel me? Have you watched my origin series that I dropped 2 weeks ago Sunday, Monday, and it showed that right after the slavery thing, they started doing the census, and then they started calculating blacks, Native Americans, and all that as one whole thing. So when they started giving away the land and the different reparations during the 1900s, they couldn't pinpoint where the fuck they give it to. And then on top of that, they made sure that the Caucasian people could pay $5 and become Native American, right? And then take up all the land and properties that they was giving away during the 1900s. That's fucked up. Feel me? So they did get rid of slavery, which is dope. Shout out to the Republicans. Shout out to the Republicans. I see you, my brothers. Shake my hand. Like, you feel me? But the system then it started adding more bullshit. Then we go fast forward to the Jim Crow era, redlining. We ain't get into that. We talking about slavery right now. Sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Amendment in the United States Constitution. After centuries of human slavery, white men led the world in putting an end to the abhorrent practice. That includes the 300,000 Union soldiers, overwhelmingly white, who died during the Civil War.
Rest in peace.
Now, am I saying that this makes white people better than anyone else? Of course not.
Why would you
My
even say
purpose
that?
here is to simply tell the truth, and the truth is that human history is complicated. No one, regardless of skin color, stands guiltless. Yet today we are never told to consider the murderous Persian Empire or the cannibalism of indigenous tribes of North and South America or the heinous actions under the imperialistic Muslim, Chinese, Mongol, or Japanese empires, to name just a few.
I disagree. Because when I was learning history, we was taught about the Mongols. And we were taught to hate them niggas. Like, you feel me? Maybe it was my school, you feel me? I can't speak for everybody else in school, but I was taught to hate the Mongols. Feel me? Because what's his name? Genghis Khan was running around wilding. That's why a lot of Asian people look the same.
This one.
What?
Because he was wilding. Him and his crew was busting cheeks, all wording women, smoking boots. Like, you feel me? They're doing everything in their power to sustain. I don't know what the fuck was his. I forgot what his goal was. I think he was just an evil man. Let me not say that, because he probably did have a goal, but it was fucked up. So anyway, I can't speak for all people, but I can't sit here and say that we not taught this history and not told to also demonize it like we demonize slavery in America. But that's false to me. But everybody else's school was different. So let's go, Candace.
Instead, we're told that slavery is a white phenomenon. And like all persistent lies, this lie spawns a bunch of other lies. On social media, I come across extraordinary depictions about how Africans lived like pharaohs before Europeans came and laid waste to their paradise. I wish any of this were true, but it's not. It's a fantasy. The truth.
He lied!
The scramble for Africa was a frenzied race among European powers in the late 19th and early 20th centuries to colonize and exploit Africa's resources. In the midst of this chaos, African kings and queens fought fiercely to protect their people and land. Some leaders, like Ethiopia's Emperor Menelik II, skillfully played European powers against each other and managed to maintain their nation's independence. Others, like King Cetshwayo of the Zulu Kingdom, engaged in fierce battles against invaders but ultimately lost their fight for sovereignty. Queen Ya Asantewa of the Ashanti Empire and Queen Nanny of the Maroons were brave women who led their people in armed resistance against colonial forces. Their courage and resilience remain a source of inspiration for generations to come. These stories of African royalty fighting for their land and people serve as a powerful reminder of the continent's rich history and indomitable spirit.
Is that Africans were sold into slavery by other Black Africans, and in many cases, sold for items as trivial as gin and mirrors.
Yeah, we know that already.
Whites didn't go into...
But see, that's another thing. We can't act like Africa is not a fucking continent. We got other countries. Now, that specific country that was trading off Africans into the slavery, and there's certain other countries that was doing the same thing, cool. Well, we know there was kings and queens in Egypt. We know this already. We know this is documented. Like, you feel me? So, in certain parts of Africa, it was, of course, there wasn't like to this day, right? But then again, don't quote me, right? You feel me? I could be wrong. I don't mind being wrong. Wasn't Africa already colonized by this time, or was it before? Or was this after? Because I know Africa was not even his name. Africa was colonized by Africanists, which was I don't want to say white or Portuguese. It was one of them dudes. I'll put it here. Like, you feel me? So once you get colonized, of course, all the people that was in power is gonna get, dethroned. We can't act like this. We can't act like that didn't happen. I'm wrong. It's cool if I'm wrong. Feel me? Put it in the comments. I'll look it up after the video anyway. But if I'm wrong, I could be wrong. You feel me? But there was kings and queens. Feel me? I know the racist whites, not all whites. The racist whites were like, we was kings. Yes, nigga. like, you feel me? Is that a hard thing to believe? White people was kings and queens. Didn't the queen just die? Queen Elizabeth? One of the last monarchs? Like, what are we talking about? Like, you feel me? That happens in a lot of cultures and countries, continents. That happens. The kings and queens is not a bad thing. Like, you feel me? They try to make it a mockery on us. Now, Like I said, not all whites. It's the racist whites and the bigots. We was kings. Y'all trying to be funny, but shit ain't funny. Like, but Candace is spitting. She's spitting facts. For me, she's just wrong about. Well, I can't say that because she probably just talking about that part of Africa. So maybe I'm getting in my feelings. I do that sometimes.
Sold for items as trivial as gin and mirrors. Whites didn't go into the interior and round up the natives.
That is true, but then we gotta keep remembering that a lot of the people who was already in America during the Columbus thing was enslaved as well. Like, you feel me? I know they say 60% of Africans came from Africa like after slavery and shit like that, which is, whatever. But there's people, like, if you watch my video, they show and they say that how black Native Americans were also classified as colored, and so they fucked up the whole shit. So, like, if you're gonna sit here and say, okay, we brought all these people from Africa over here and enslaved them, but we already had slaves over here in America, but we just didn't call them African. We all mixed them up together and call them colored. So now everybody mixing. Like, you feel me? So it's bad all around. Feel me? Let's go.
The truth is that Africans were sold into slavery by other black Africans, and in many cases, sold for items as trivial as gin and mirrors.
True indeed. True
Whites
indeed.
didn't go into the interior and round up the natives. They waited on the coast for their black partners to bring them black bodies.
True.
The stark reality is that our lives had very little value to our ancestors.
To some of our ancestors. But let's go.
Here's the third thing you need to know. If you think slavery is a relic of the past,
Oh,
you're
hell
wrong.
no. After Gaddafi got murdered and assassinated during Obama's regime, they turned Libya into a slave trade state. I remember watching Gaddafi talk about giving his speeches and all that, and then the Western media talking about, yeah, he enslaves his own people, he do them dirty and all that. Then out of nowhere, a coup happens and he gets killed. And then right after that, the Arab community come over there and enslave the people of Libya. That shit is a slave trade state, I think, to this day. That shit pissed me off, son. Feel me? Now, I know Obama is just the face of it. Feel me? But Obama was the face because black people all around the world looked at him as a great leader. But he was one of the motherfuckers who was the most evilest presidents out here. Respectfully, I ain't vote for that nigga. Feel me? The first time around, I couldn't vote for him. I wasn't of age. Second time around, I ain't vote for that man. I thought, who was on this ballot? I think McCain was on the ballot. I voted for that man. Respectfully. Fuck what you talking about? Obama. Man. Obama. What's that song? Dick riding Obama. Oh. Oh, shit.
Dick riding Obama, Obama. Now I'm dick riding Obama, Obama. Now I'm dick riding Obama, Obama.
Then you see that the same thing is happening today. People are saying, oh, I'm voting for Kamala because she black. That bitch is Indian. What are we talking about? She grew up Indian, son. Like, of course she got a black side because her pops is Jamaican and all that, but she grew up Indian. She grew up in an Indian household, and she didn't even fuck with black men. When she was a prosecutor, she got most black men locked up for frivolous charges for years, and then continued doing the slave. Man, bitch, man, stop playing with me, man. Fuck Kamala, man. Fuck these bitches. Who said it? What president was it? Who said, the next black messiah is gonna come from us? I forgot who it was. I put it up here. Feel me? He said that shit after he dismantled the Black Panther Party. Like, come on, son. That motherfucker is stupid. Y'all gotta wake the fuck up. No matter who's in that position, especially in the government, black, white, green, blue, it don't matter. No motherfuckers don't like you, nigga. The deep state hate all of us.
He ain't lying.
Sorry.
No. If you think slavery is a relic of the past, you're wrong.
Still going on
There
today,
are
my boy.
some 700,000 slaves in Africa today, right now. That's the lowest estimate that I could find. Other sources say there are many more. For context, that's almost twice as many slaves as were ever brought to the United States.
The only thing I dislike, because we talking about slavery, history of slavery in general, right? Why they keep why they keep focusing on Africa? Like, bro, we know there's still slavery around other parts of the world today. I see what you're trying to do, Prager, you. And you use Candace as a scapegoat. I see what you're doing. Feel me? But she's right.
Child soldiers, human trafficking,
That's
forced
facts.
labor.
Facts.
These are the conditions that currently exist within the same sub-Saharan region where the transatlantic slave trade
Oh, right here, see?
originated.
Right there.
African bodies are being sold today like they were sold then. And no, they are not being purchased by any country of white men. In fact, slavery, by any traditional definition, is exclusively practiced today within non-white countries. But we hear almost nothing
I agree.
about that. Just like we hear nothing about how slavery was universal until good people in Europe and America ended it 2 centuries ago. Why? Because our so-called leaders, black and white, wouldn't profit from it. Black victimhood is nothing if not profitable. It elects politicians and funds racial grievance groups.
Yes, sir! This nigga spitting.
And if Black Americans began to view themselves as partners in the American dream, if we embraced the patriotic spirit that holds all men are created equal, the patriotic spirit that is our real heritage, then the race hustlers would soon be out of business.
I agree with that.
And who wants that?
I don't agree with the patriotism. I mean, I just don't agree with it. But I do agree with the victimhood shit. Like, bro, I love my people. I pray for and I respect what our ancestors went through for us to be in this position that we are in today. Right? But one thing I would not sit here and do is disappoint them with the free opportunity that I have to live in this one of the greatest countries in the world. Now, I talk shit about America a lot. Like, you, bro, I talk shit because I know who runs America behind the scenes and all that, so I'm talking shit to them. But as a country, we fire. Respectfully, we got a lot of bullshit that goes on with us because the system is here to keep us divided and shit. But the rights that we have, that we can run around and do what the fuck we want, technically do what the fuck we want, is dope. One thing you would never hear me sit here and say is, oh, I'm a victim, so I could never go and do anything I want in my life. Never in my life would I say it like that. Because one thing about words is spells. And your body don't know when you joking and are you serious. So when you sit here and give and say those words, your body reacts in a different manner. So if I sit here and say, oh, I'm depressed, think my brain don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, and then now it starts shutting down. Now your body starts giving anxiety attacks and you don't understand where it's coming from because words are spells. So I'm not a fucking victim of nothing. I'm a victim of success. You heard?
Damn.
Rest in peace to all my ancestors. Rest in peace to my grandparents. Rest in peace to everybody that fell for us to strive today. That white man not holding me back, nigga. The system got certain traps that hold me back, but I'm gonna still get above the system. Fuck what you talking about? Nigga. Let's go, Candace. Fine ass. God damn, that smells gorgeous.
I'm Candace Owens, author of Blackout for Prager University. Thank you for watching this video. To keep PragerU videos free, please consider making a tax-deductible donation.
Oh, I gotta do this. Do you regret getting the jab? I gotta do this one day. But anyway, y'all like the video, man? If y'all like fucking with that type of content, put in the comments, man, and ask me to react to more videos like that. I like this. Feel me? There's a certain thing that was triggering me, but so what? Anyway, it's your boy DF to the deal to the MO. Remember, protect your motherfucking peace. Nobody tell you can't do what you want to do out here. Be the better version of you. You can be. Protect these kids. Protect some of this bad virus. And always remember, the government is your boy. I love you. I love you. I love you. Peace. You hear me? We out of here.